To inform our brothers across the world, especially people of Twic East, wherever they are, we wanted to inform them in a video clip about the disaster which has devastated Twic area and the rest of Bor area, Uduk area. These areas has been devastated by flood in the way you are seeing in the video. The people here standing is headed by Ambassador Biora Ajuong, the chairperson of Twic East Executive Committee, and the rest of the members, and two chiefs from Twic East. These are the people trying to inform you that what has happened to our area. It has devastated our people, and our people migrated, got displaced and migrated to different parts of South Sudan. Some went to Lake State, some to Central Equatoria, especially in Mangala and the rest of the areas in Central Equatoria. We thank those people. They managed to accept our people, and now they are in the process of settling them. We have seen the magnitude of devastation caused by the flood. So we are here feeling this problem of flood is not this year only. It happened frequently from time to time. So it needs a solution. This solution needs some mechanized machine to make dike. So
aya le la wo bor ji ben atom ko bi ko ting ye ko indi una yo ko rin ti mana ngi worin werin we mi kaya le la tiek ka bi loy mar wor tiek ka bi loy ko ko anto chiran ji we ke wo we le ja ri chiran ji we ka chiran mi thor ya na ran a loy we ya bore run ku ji ko nyai we wa ne ran ko ke toy we bu ka jor ye ka jor bot ai ka jor ri ai ka jor ke choy ma chama jana bora di ta ke ci ba pi ke dal wer ku ne ye kule ayo lu ko to ba ci man ko to no pa nya go a ko bu ko kun man bi ke ago guru ago ku chuo ku bi wo nyu ja nyaw ago ko ke ko ken ba ken ku wal wo ko bi ko lyop wo ko ba ja nyu wo bru de le du wo chi ru du wo pai wo ru du ne ke lo ku ja la ke lo ku ni ga bi wo pa nda cheng a chan we mi ko lon ja ga loy e lon fi da reti a chiran go lo pa na man chiran ko chiran go lo pa na wu na chiran ko chiran go le den de na chiran ko chiran go de pin de ne ben tui chiran ko ya gu bor a we ga mana ya tin ga chiran de ga to ran ji ga de to ko mi ka ken to ya lo la we ji ba ja ko go ja ga loy.
It is indeed a disaster of a significant magnitude. The road from Bor to Malakal has turned into a lake. Here in Twic East County, the life of people and animals is utterly under huge threat as the water level continues to rise. In the entire county, it has become survival for the fittest. Dogs and cats are crying. The dogs now live on the rooftop of the collapsing houses. Floods has killed livestock, and when the dogs see a dead animal floating on water, they rush down and take the carcass to the top of a house to eat. This is the kind of life in this place. But the dogs too are dying, and no one knows for how long will the remaining ones continue to live under this situation, which seems to have no end. Hopes have been shattered. The future here is doomed. With the continuous heavy rainfall and the River Nile at 60-year highs, flooding has devastated the center of the country, with 500,000 people affected, particularly in Jonglei and Lake states. In regard to this, thousands of people have been uprooted from their homes as flash water continues to hit Jonglei State. This is the road that is linking the state capital, Bor, to Panyagor, and of course it has absolutely turned into a river. And of course we know that this is the situation that people in this area are in. The water has completely submerged the entire region here, and the locals are struggling. Many have evacuated this place, and the ones who are remaining said they are here and they are raising their hands to God, and they don't know when their help will come. And of course, the few who are here are saying they are not going anywhere. It is home. It is the place they have been born, and this is the God-given place, and they say they are not going anywhere.
Di awara borke kuenga borgetem ku kawoi ni ye na bo ba bupol leke ba chi parliament ba ching na ye mya ke u jon de ko ngot ka tio ko jan jan na chan piu ko ka ben abora de ke chon wayo wayo a chibenjan de ku jir enka ade ke chon pawa a chibende ku jir ade ke chon abora chon de dot a chibende ku jir ade ke chon alwan a chibende kujil kumachamo achibende kujil kujola bor the tem.
Homes have fallen, livestock have died, and a good number of people are trapped in various locations because they could not afford to pay their way outside their area. From Pakeer in the far south to Wernyol in the far north, Twic East County of Jonglei State is sitting on water as flash water continued to devastate the region. The entire county has turned into a lake as River Nile spits volumes of water into the interior, uprooting thousands from their homes. The county's headquarters, Panyagor, is the only place you can find a dry land.
So we, the authority of Twic East, we are here in Panyagor. We are giving thanks to our community of Twic in Juba. What they have done, they sent us a team from Juba to assess the area. So this is a good pleasure to them. So we encourage them to continue to do that one, to send the South Sudan TV to the area to assess the area. So we are happy for them.
But this does not come by coincidence. The locals have built a 13-kilometer dike to somehow protect the town from the rising water level. Panyagor, the headquarters of Twic East County, which had maintained its status of being the only dry town in the county, is now under heavy threats of the floods as the water has claimed part of the county headquarters today. But the youth here are no longer sleeping. They spend most of their time fixing the dike so that the young ones, the old women and the elderly who are here will be protected. And the young people here say if they don't do this work, then the entire population will actually be evicted from here. It is upon the young people now to ensure that their people who are in Panyagor are protected. Remember, they have built a dike of 13 kilometers around the town, and this is with the hope of ensuring that the people who have run from all the towns and the Payams and the Boomers and the villages of Twic East County are now come in Panyagor. And if these young people are not doing what they are doing today, then the entire population of Twic East County of Jonglei State will be completely evicted from here. I'm going to speak to the executive, the guy who is in charge of this county at the moment, sir. is absolutely unbelievable here. What is happening?
As you see, this is a heavy flooding. We have a 3 month here doing this guy, protecting the Payagor airstrip and the hospital and the NGOs are here, and the population of Twic came to Payagor. So vulnerable people and their children, as you see, they are here around. So then we have to make this guy to protect the area or the people of Twic.
Well, if for example these young people don't come here, what will happen to the people living here?
I think they will know where to go. They will suffering, as you see. They will be affected by the water. Because if there are no use like this, they cannot able to manage the water. They die.
Honorable, we have seen the situation. There are a number of people, the old women, the children. Everybody has come from the villages to Panyagor, the county headquarters. Well, we thank the youth for what they are doing now. But if there is one thing that South Sudan as a country, South Sudan government can do to ensure that this situation does not continue, what would it be? So that if for example, we are to make sure that this condition of flooding stops in this region, what is that one thing that is needed?
If the government do, they can provide big machine like excavator, and then they can make a primary dike along the river there side. So we need help from the government. They can bring some machine, big machine. It is not only this area. In some part of the continent, there is a lot of water, and they are being made. They can put the dike. That is where they can help people, and they can make also a road, good road, a common road. So this common road can help people in this situation.
Thank you very much. Here is the man who is leading the youth in providing these protection services. Maybe tell us first of all, as a young man, who has the responsibility of protecting your people? What would you say?
You know, it is our primary responsibility as youth of this country to protect our citizens. They are 100% ready to protect whole county. The whole county headquarters, which is Panyagor, they are 100% ready to protect.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I wish you well, my brother.
Thank you.
It's so good to come and see also.
Because of the presence of the small, thin but weak dike, the population has moved into Panyagor from all areas in search of a dry land for survival. It is yet another day of my journey to Wernyol now. Wernyol is one of the Payams of Twic East County. It's also badly hit by the waters. We know that it is a Payam north of the county headquarters, Panyagor. I'm traveling there to see how the situation is, because we know that the level, the volume of the water here is really rising. There are 5 Payams in Twic East County. In the far north is Lith Payam with its headquarters in Wernyol, which has become so difficult to reach even with a boat due to its terrain. It is now a home to few people who are stuck in primary health care center and some in the church. We are now crossing the canal, trying to carry our boat from the other side of the canal to now how we can row the boat to Wernyol. These are the ones who cannot afford to pay a boat to take them to Bor or fly to Juba. They are calling for help.
Tom dan ga yere nunga yeni ali bebe tin eri yang chola mo ne mana awo wa kumanye e gendi ni ga kiri garang yo ngo ya gawe na rabia mon ko mar yo ngo ya ba choria ke gin mai yo ngo ba choria ka kumoto Kupin Chipu Bill. Adal few. Ye Junuba Chipu Dal Chakuma.
Kijo tree a kenelwe. Kijo tree ayo bijola la ko jalo de. Na yo ko mane ka kenelwe na chan pa wa ka bon. Ke ya bo bai ju ben chen. Mandele gema wan ku ye ken tree ya ke der chirio ko yina. Ko yinde ga chilwe te tu ke ya le ko. Ke gema re ka chen ko ngono ku ka chen ayo no maguti de chwe ka guti ke aguti Ajuong. Gema re ka chen no ke inticha. Arab ba ya rab chen. Ti jur aken ku kon ngi. Mane wore de tele e ba nga ye munyin.
Well, I'm now at Jonglei Canal where the cattle keepers from Kongor and Wernyol have brought their animals here. This is a higher ground where the animals are able to be kept here, but when they go for grazing, they now go and graze inside the water there. This is the only place where they come and sleep here, and the cattle keepers said it is only in this place that they can keep their animals safe. But also they are not sleeping. You know, this is an area where where cattle raiders also moves, and so these people here say they don't sleep. They have to ensure that they sleep less and spend time trying to see around so that the animals are protected here. Large number of the population of Wernyol is living on the Jonglei Canal, and cattle keepers from Kongor have also brought in their animals to the canal, which is the dry place in the midst of the water.
Pandana chibor. Kubo kana kuikuto. To be engaged. Kali ding chidum. Ato te Wernyol. Ukako ka achila kanano. Ke ka achin ki chamke. Achin wal. Achin machama diker kum. Ko jajo reis ekama gok kutu ato. Diera chamgoj. Kriyejiben acha michila tawo krora chamgoj. So wo cha suffering arit. Kwan wo budak bugule junub te to ko junub. So chiran jibe na guchime. So pe ka dia orer piwi. Ko chiran jo ko na guchime ne. Ka yene kire kinungo. So na kuma da ke woka. Kwan wo. So ka go to kalanum klo kuma ne kanida ina buben tie. Te buwa long ti na ma de ta da ngorwo. Agruta bi wo dot. Anyu ko jiten. Dinga god.
As the water levels continue to rise here, some young people who are still remaining in Wernyol here are trying to fix to put a little bit of the mud so that the church is protected. But the question is, this water continue to rise here, and it is unimaginable. People don't know when this situation will end, and it might be a matter of time, but the youth here are determined that at least they will put some mud here to ensure that the church, the house of God here is in Wernyol, remains standing. Of course, the whole population has been evicted. Most of them are here at the canal there. They are in the dry ground where they have gone there with the children, the elderly, and the animals are there. But of course, these people here have lost their livelihood. Their homes have collapsed in the water, and the water level continue to rise as even the Nile River continue to burst its bank here. It is unpredictable here when this situation will end. These young people are working. People here are hungry. There is no food. There is no presence of any humanitarian organization. The humanitarian agencies have been asked by the president to go to Jonglei State and help the people who are affected by floods. But throughout my journey from Mar up to Wernyol here, I have not seen any sign of any humanitarian agency to help the people who are remaining here in this area. The question is, where is that call ending? This is the question that lingers in the minds of the people here. Leandro Lotok, SSBC News, Wernyol. And in Kongor, the remaining people who are camping in a school are living under squalid conditions. They have erected a small dike around a block to prevent water from entering the classrooms where they live in. They have run out of food and medical supplies. They are now only feeding on fish. A businessman in Kongor appealed to the government and humanitarian agencies to come and help them.
Pakeer Mayadit, ana salamta.
بيد ديري بيد دي كله كاملة. أنا ما ممكن نسلمك بيد واحد، أنا سلمتك باثنين يد كله زي ده. طبعا القلوبنا زي ضمان. أنا ده في حركة أنا كان زول متفاجئ. أنا كان متفاجئ في حركة ما في زول كمان بيعرفني. كل هي حاجة أنا عملتها بقلبي ده وما في حاجة بطال. عرضنا بلد بتاعنا ولو نقعد في جوا المويه زي ده انا ما ممكن اقول اي حاجه.
لا هيك كوي طلبه كاچتو كديه كبججو يولو تبجج يوتي يلا طلبه كين كوي كجمو يلو لا بكوي يولو كوينا لو يلي بان ديرا البان مو كجين كوي اكلا باكي شوبين يا لكن ووتو كوره ويجتي تين تين
It is absolutely unbelievable here as the floods continue to hit the region. I am inside Kongor Primary School and there are few people who have been caught up here, and these are the people who cannot afford to leave the area. Well, what they have done here is to erect for themselves a local dike, but it can't even break any time as the water level rises. We can still see children here and they are absolutely living under difficult situations, and they say they don't know when this situation will end. In the town of Wangulei, one of the major settlements in Twic East County, there are 10 families who are struggling but under difficult conditions. The area paramount chief and his headmen and few others say they would remain in Wangulei until the situation clears.
Bài chi phân cái bài chi phân bài cái ata riêng ra phân của bài cái quê coi đi trò cũng mày thì truy cái chuyện cái quê đi quê coi trò mà giờ sao với cái lo nhìn nó coi cái coi là chứ coi là phải ngoan của liệu của bài bây giờ cái run bài bây giờ yên coi vô cái gọi là chứ về là cái bây giờ là phải đi khi về bên và we got water to water the one. Kule we jalke. Achira veru ha we. Wo me jale du ban ma jale ko. Idarin. Ku bugu bai wan. Wo chi bai wan we kin jam. Wo chi bai pal ke wo muktulin. Yo bai fo la kir tal fal wo ko fal bai. Akil la kam. Fal bai. Aya we got tier ke. We ko to jupor. We got tier ke mi to America. Ai alo le ba ye fol ku bu jo la cholo ta ring du le bi jo cho ngu ma to bol ma nyo ye le are an de wundi le chol fa ko da le le la de wundi le chol fa nyang ma nyo de le ko woy alo ndu da janga de fa biye alo wo to bin wo chi gam wo ban ke ka ba tol we reke ku be ga wal ai ku yen ke ja tol we ba ai tol fa kir we ra tolin ba fi ngi tv nyin a ne afa al chol bor Paluan chứ coi tul, cũng nhớ đến cái bê cái mà lên phải thiếu một cái, bùi cái tỏi, bùi truy tỏi tụi cái bên, bùi tỏi, cái cả bao nhiêu kia, coi trâu mà giờ là sao vậy, coi trâu nhua chứ kia, chứ nó khui cái vô, coi quan như cái là lấy vô cái quan như truy thế này, nhai. Ahmad Bambio Raja, Yamuk Twic community. Ahmad Wangulei Payam, the secretary. Ahmad Biarmading Bia. Kato, where Yagwe, where Chugale, Kichagalwe. A chiri under to away. Yenga walk Makala with you are meet in view afterward. Yenga walk so lot. So la we were out here on a full of go to that thing away. Chalmale, Taraful go, I got by Jori, I put a lap, Payago. Yeah, Jagaloican, you look a local. Kaka, Lewe, Loy, a bitterman. Rambu, Chore, Era, and the Koi will go through again. Quachera, our Bengal, a young can. Ketolwe, we are going uncle, my sheep, a boba, I don't quite have a deal coy. Kuala ko mi ko ya be a chwere headship banyu una be a bergulo ya jinga loy bo banyu la chi ba mai ko be ga ko ten bra ko ga la ju a chu ko ye la de ran dai ke ping a piet wo ko kwai coi cái bùa qua nhiều vô quay chi với ao vậy cái trâu trên cái phía cái vật liệu thịt yếm biểu ra thôi phải là cho thôi cái cho thôi quý là phải nhang ý ngắm bài hoàng ý cầm cũng biết mà đỉnh cái trâu vô cho gù miệt phải đan ấy cho truy mà lấy cho truy yên là lùi về thìn cũng đúng cái trâu cái cào vật thôi luôn trồng dọc phía cái chắc cái tiếng cái đôi bài bước ao phải giảm mặt gặp cái bài bước qua chi lắm mà bữa nay chỉ là gặp cái mồi điều bữa nay chỉ là gặp cái mồi nhà luôn bữa nay chỉ là gặp cái mồi vốn ai lùi cái ba cái bài lùi vì cái đùa lùi cái bài lùi cái phải giảm mặt cũng phải giảm vì đã ra được một thu lệ đấy.
Asiale okuma butala Asiale okuma butala Asiale okuma butala
Asiale okuma butala
anti mi kon ke tui ye gon biura sort ke bain community e junu Sudan deng no an bun no manyap ke no bain community long dager long de tui deng ke no unton e mai community pa ni chama diang bor we ya ka motherin ke bain dit aya lo na man the bai in ke pande in ke loy lon chi we lui a chu ting mi ga ko jorwan ko wan mam a chi ke ner chi ka jor riet in ke cho de ko we ko jubo we community we chu ya ret akene we yo ke le chu ngi mana de ke we nang pyo fan du ke ne bu jo le we ka matin wo ko riedwen cha lui a cha no go kwera go ka bod kwe na chi ka bod ke piu ka
ta ko ko wa ti de ka ba kai
ba ajen ke ne ka twen bu le we ke re bu le we ke ma kalet chi ma de ngai jo twen bu gan chi ka tiek a chin ke ga meti a yo lo yen yi chu le yin biura to wa na de ma kalet cha ba ke ro to county ko yo lo yen ba pa ya met ba ga ting ka un chi ka tie ku ka ba ga no ne gon un chi ka tie ga ten a ke ne ayo we le je di ta yo lo yen loy ga loy we chu ga le je den ayo ngi ben chi wa ti ben ben we ka che loy ku we ka wo ja ping akuma ra junub ke ga ma ti ne tv don cha ga bay a ke ne akuma belong de bra loy we belong du na ba ga loy ayo lo pa ai chi fan pa da ni chon tui achu o chi jen tin enga wan achin pyu ko janga do ron achi ko be na do bai we je pyu we ka jor tin wan we je pyu we ka jor bod ko na ti ga to kana chi ne ben ko be lwan pyu inga ke o ge cho na chan be ge ben achan be pyu be tem ko do loy.
But the question is, when will the disaster end, given the fact that the water level continue to rise? One woman who is struggling to put up a dike around her house say she could not leave Wangulei because her daughter is pregnant and that making a long journey from here to Bor through water would be disastrous to her daughter and the unborn child.
Kalau sawan cai tinggal ya kayak murah pun kuang dia tajuan cai itu wajar hari jar kecing hari wantiin wuna cai mir wan ka cai kelawan wak ketem wan.
This is the home of the country's vice president in charge of gender and youth, Mama Rebecca Nyandeng. It is destroyed as the waters from the Nile continue to devastate this region. Well, the home is deserted, but few security details are manning here. Of course, as the water continues coming out from the Nile and submerging the whole region, the area is completely under devastation. The livelihood of the people here has been devastated. Towards central Equatoria, of course, it is an expensive journey that these people are taking their animals there for safety. The animals swimming many hours on their way from Panyagor up to here as they are waiting for the boats that will carry them to Bor and eventually to central Equatoria where they will be. And of course, they said it is an expensive venture. One cow will be taken to Bor at the cost of £8,000, and from Bor to Juba will take one cow 10,000 South Sudanese pounds. You can imagine how expensive this flooding here has cost the people of Twic East County. Another devastated town is Paliao. A handful of people are remaining in Paliao, but under difficult conditions as well.
Wale mo judung panda Ajuong wale mo ketie da oto dia ayo ngoto eriang jipi ayo dung tine o ngi dai kuma wo ka kuma o yo ko di ga lu na ben man chawe ben aman we chu do le en eran chama jang tun yot en sultan en banya bai Ken kalawe we ko to roketi ko ko dir kwan siasin we jagle rin ka bandit ka tuengen bagaloy a jipeng do maruara ko bag tiek bag taw jana chira cha wo man war chira wo ja ko bag tiek bag taw maruara tieng di to kan be ko nyaw ga che lo ko nyaw ke chlo cái car go la du chen chan chi pa na upon
cái tuen coi cái gà chả có mò từ bên rồi à gọi là mi quang gà America bên lần chỉ cái lối chú mi được cái đấy cô bài thưa ria cái này bài chỉ ní tàu quá chỉ ní ngô quá chỉ ní vô bùrọ ai cho bên vào cầu kín cho là ngang đó bùrọ cái vô ai cho pin cô cá thiếu cái này cái tuen này căng nín panda Ajuong Payam Ajuong Payam we mi to America we ga mi ko ji man chi wo tin ken we cho we nim tin bu ke pa na bu ke piu ke ko ra de e yang ko ye ne we chu ko mo ta de ye le yin tui bin ke pa na ra ki cha tin wo ngun ji ki wa che ba cham na chu ku cha yin ka wo du ba chen ma ro ti chi piu jal ba du ku chen na chira lo de pe ting ma ne ke la jo ye de ke duon che tan ka ga jan te wo ju ku buro a ka chira ne ka a pi ko bu to ai ni to ka chen ki cha ting de to be to
cái en te ku te ne a chu ku yo yo quen cái qua nó còn ngọt a chu ku yo yo ma den cái chiu yo yo ai lo wa ku ti bu la tin a ku ti bu la tin kara bu lo fa na go ko bu lo ti chi ju la tin ko len ku ke luet a ngột để cái chiu ấy vô tuổi chứ chiu ấy vô tuổi có với cháu team muốn vô tuổi cái vô bây giờ yêu cho nên là đây có ngót ra là bây giờ yêu để ra là bây giờ yêu để u chỉ dính ở đây cái ra này luôn nó bài phone cái phải leo cái nó phone ở đây ra trồng
tàu ra bài
ở đây ra trồng chứ đừng cái lối cái ra chứ dần có dưới có cả trâu thiế cái mà đây có dưới có cả trâu thiế cái chỗ phải ở đây ra chứ dần cái lối ăn ở đâu cái lối đi đường tiang cái lối đan ra nó dọc cái lối đen adut cái lối mà giang tuổi bây giờ bán duy cọc trên cái đá nhân u chỉ dính u đen trên này cái bờ của tiệt giác trên này có bờ của tiệt giác có gì rồi quen u trên này cái bờ của tiệt giác cái đi thôi tới chán tuổi có tiếc cả chân kẹt trên có duy còn chứ gì.
Of course, this is what we use for arriving to this location here. It has not been an easy travel from Panyagor up to Mar here. It took us nearly 12 hours from Panyagor to Mar here. And of course, you see the flooding. This is the canoe that we use for the travels here. Finding our ways here was a difficult one, a difficult terrain on the way, particularly in a place called Pading. It took us a lot of hours there on the way when we were finding our way to Mar here. And of course, from here, we will be talking to the people here in Mar to see how the situation is, because we have seen few people here remaining in the center of Mar here, making the small dike just to close the houses that they are staying in. They want to ensure that the water does not reach the houses they are in. They work throughout the day and night to get mud, and that mud they build to a certain raised level so that the water will not be able to penetrate into the houses and the small compounds that they have. They are saying they are doing this because they do not want to go anywhere. This is their home, mud is their place, and they can't go anywhere. But also others said, even if they were to go anywhere, how do they get the money to take them to Panyagor or to take them to Juba and eventually, to Bor and eventually to Juba? This is the situation in which these people are in. It's a terrible situation here. They described it. They said it is unbelievable. They don't know when this water will subside. They are saying the future for them is bleak because they don't know when the waters in the River Nile will stop rising, and they even don't know that maybe the few places that they are remaining here in Mar might be submerged, and they said if that happens, then that is the end of the world to them. This is what one old man here told me inside Mar here. At the mouth of the floods is Mar Payam, which was the first place to be hit by the waters. The only place that can sustain life for some times now is Mar Primary Health Care Center because it has an elevated foundation which keeps the water out of entering the rooms. As the water levels continue to rise in this area, I'm now entering Mar PACC. It is one of the structures that remains livable here because of its raised structure. There is still some people who are here. We have a nurse who is taking care of the people who are still remaining in this area. He said the few people who are here still comes for medical services, but there is one permanent, at least one regular patient who is suffering from chicken pox. That person comes regularly here. But of course we know that the entire town of Mar has been evacuated. The people here have been evicted by the waters that comes from the River Nile. I'm going to see and speak to the nurse who is still remaining here. Well, it is unbelievable here as we see the water everywhere. Nobody can live in this situation, but the remaining people here say they can't go anywhere because this is home, this is a place God has given them, and they are saying they have to be here, whether it is having water or not. So I will be speaking to the nurse to see, to hear from him how the situation has been and is continuing to be. This is the foundation I'm talking about, the raised foundation of this place. Of course, this is what helps this PACC to remain standing here. But of course, we know that many houses in town have fallen, and it's only this place that you can still stay without seeing the water entering into the rooms. I will ask the nurse, what is the situation like here?
The situation here is terrible, and because we have nowhere to go, because there are some people who remain in this village. So I went up to Juba and then I came back because there are people remaining in this village. So everybody have evacuated their home, and few people who remain here, that is why I came back. And the situation here, it is where we have nowhere to go.
There are some few families in the heart of Mar town putting small dikes around their houses to keep the water at bay.
We unmad me the tweet of in the Juba, quite of in America, one talk a thin one bay. Which I came out with the tweet. You're up on the tweet of Juba and you're a young word. And can buy and tow thin a child thing. A bedom sura for bagating and keep by it. I want the one. You can see a kick and a jar coaching, look at that theory, future and carry what's in it. I will a born tag bedemia moy, who can be music tree, or Puma de Junub, a banana tagatina can weapon, a big shepherd. A man away there, the white teaching about level. I will work quite a buy a chicken can bear pan a tree coin and a dung the road can a yen jalga. Nabuka jalga, a young walk machine can a book of mad walk out the anke dung. Okay, you worry, I will wear upon a tree where me a moy. In the lake of Pute, community tree. I will on Puma Junub, Kabe, Korea upon a tree, pick it up in Puma Junub. bo pan tui bu du de were na ke ore ro ko dien ke rer te na lo gu Wernyol lo gu du a jo ku bai ka ke ne a chi ko ne pa chi jal tu kai ko le wan bu yo ko tin ku ya wo ko won chen ya bare ke ne a ba ja tin ba ko le to bai chi chen te beri chen ku ke yo gu di ka ke na chi chen te beri di bai ke le ko bu ron mar ko.
The epicenter of the problems of Twic East County is the primary dike, which was broken by heavy water, and from here, the water gets into the entire county and beyond. This is exactly the area that caused the water to flood the whole of Twic East County, of course here in Jonglei State. This is the primary dike at Nyan here. Of course, this is the place where the water has flooded the entire of Twic East County. The primary dike is long, it's at least a little longer. I mean, it is raised above the ground, but again, when the water from the Nile increases and the Nile bursts its banks and the water comes here, it gets from here to the entire of the area, from here up to the end of this county, and it has gone throughout the entire of Jonglei region. But the people here are saying, if there was a program for building a permanent dike here in this area, then the area would not witness such big flooding in 60 years. And of course, they say here that the first and the worst one was in 1962, but there were some in between here which were not as huge as this one of today. It is so unbelievable here. The water has taken everywhere, and just walking here was not an easy, but I have to be the first journalist to come here really and report on the conditions of the people here, because if we don't come here, then who will be able to report it? It's a long distance. It's a long distance that I have covered from Panyagor up to Jany here to come and see why and how this water has gone into the place after it break the primary dike here. The few people left behind here who cannot pay their way to Bor, Goliar, and Mangala are living under appalling conditions. They have run out of basic social services as the flood has shattered their livelihood. They have lost part of their essential livelihood, the livestock that is heavily valued among the inhabitants of Jonglei. The locals say a possible solution to their suffering could be building a concrete dike that would save the region from any future disaster of this magnitude. In July this year, the president declared a state of emergency in Jonglei and called on the humanitarian agencies to quickly move in to address the worsening situation. But the people here say that help has not come their way as the water level continues to rise due to the continuous rainfalls.